Okay, Patreon, welcome back. I know it's been a while. I haven't really made any sort of content at all for the past month, and I've lost dozens and dozens of Patreon subscribers as a result of that. But it is what it is. What do I boil that down to? Being busy, uninspired. I don't really know what to explain. I just didn't post, and I do apologize for that. For those of you that are still here, but we're back, and we have Miku here. And if you've been following the regular social channels, you would have been introduced to him as a dog that came in virtually shut down. These are the kind of dogs that when they come in, it's a Shepherd Husky mix. They give you this look like if you try to touch me, I'm gonna absolutely light you the fuck up. And it's a very uneasy and it's a scary feeling, even for somebody like myself who has a lot of experience with dogs like this. And so I know that at that point, there's not a whole lot, of training that you can do in that moment. And if you saw my post this morning about why relationship first, you would have read a little bit. About not really starting the formal training process until we can both trust each other. Until I have that doubt in my mind that I'm going to get bit or not, I can't do shit. I can't work with him. He's not going to be in a space to learn anything effectively anyway. Because could you imagine learning when you're nervous or fearful or afraid or uncertain? Nothing is really going to register because you're afraid. All you could focus on is how you're feeling in that time. And so that's why we don't really start working until we can get to a point where, I have no doubt in my mind that this guy he's cool with me now, coming up to me voluntarily now, looking for a little bit more affection. Like, we're in a pretty good space now. And so now it's like, okay, well, now we can start working. I'm gonna pull this little piece of bacon out, and he's taking food from me. These dogs come in here feeling the way they do. You can put a piece of bacon in front of them and they're not going to eat it. The most delicious, scrumptious treat in the world to a dog. This is cooked bacon by a carnivore dog, by the way. I'm not sponsored by them. They send me some treats here from time to time. It's a pretty good option for high value. And that's typically what I'm going to use when we're working with dogs that are, like my man here. I need something a little more scrumptious for this learning process. And in this video today, I've put the prong collar on him now. And one thing I really want to mention to you guys is I don't put the prong collar on the single loop, the one that's going to give it a pinch, okay? Commonly referred to as a pinch collar, and that's because when there's pressure on the leash, it applies an equal amount of pressure, and it'll cinch up and it'll pinch, right? But there's two loops on this collar. Come here, Papa. Let's see if we can get close enough to show you what I'm talking about, because I'm not ready to give him that level of aversive yet. If I grab the camera and show you, there's two loops. Okay, there's one loop there and there's another loop there. You put the carabiner hook on both loops, and what that does is it takes the pinch feature away. So now you basically have a flat collar with spikes. And for me, this is easing into the process of teaching him what prong collar pressure is significant of. Now, I've yet to teach him how to walk with me. For the last 3 to 4 days, I've allowed him the freedom to use his nose. I've had him on a long leash, no direction at all. But now I want to positively teach him. I want to introduce this sensation, this feeling around his neck in a way that's not going to traumatize him or set us back any. I actually want to show him that it's a positive thing, right? To follow the leash pressure. Follow the leash pressure. I'm trying to get him to follow me, and I want him to do it voluntarily, okay? So one of the strategies that I'm going to use for this is there's actually pressure on the leash right now, and what we're going to show you, this is a very simple and basic pressure release drill. So he's going over that way, but I want him to come this way, right? So what I'll do is I'll step back and I'll pay him a little piece of food for following. And I want to do it immediately after he feels the pressure. Right there. Right when he gets to the end of the leash, feels the pressure, he comes back to me, he gets paid for it. You see how we're spinning this into a positive? We're not just going straight away with leash corrections. That's not somewhere down the line. We're easing into this because I want the most optimal results, and I want them to be extremely clear. And what's happening right now, on top of this particular drill, he's getting used to getting paid for me and taking food from my hand. That's another pretty valuable thing that's happening right now, because there's going to be a lot of that. Good. So I'm just going to start walking. I'm going to try to keep him on the same side as me. He goes that way, pressure, releases, gets paid. All right, you guys? Boom. Takes a couple of steps in that heel position, click and pay. Food lure. He goes off into that, pressure, release. Good boy. Good boy. Yeah. A lot of people will come with their dogs on prong collars and they're still struggling. And that's because this type of strategy has never been implemented. They're not really teaching the dog to voluntarily want to follow. Good boy. Good. Good. That's a guy. Good boy. Good. Good boy. So you can just stop. He's going to keep. Boom. Right there. Hey. Papa. Good. Yep. He goes off that way. Pressure release. Click pay. Goes off that way, pressure, release, quick pay. Good boy. Lure him around back into your position. Good. Walking. Good, dude. Hey. So he's got, yes, little distraction over there right now. Step back, click pay, show him that you're the better one. Pressure. Release. Hey. Nico. Good. Hey. Oh, and the other thing is we're loading up a clicker. This is the first time using a clicker for him as well. So he doesn't really know what this sound means, but something good happens every single time I click this thing. He gets paid every time I click it, and I'm clicking it at an opportune time. Boom. When he takes steps back towards me. Pay. And we're just looking for a dog that becomes a little more voluntarily inclined to follow when you change directions. Boom, did you see that choice right there? And this is all we'll do, first session. Bam, right there. If he does it, just do it again. That's a guy. Hey, come on. Good. Good boy. Can you sit? Mama's taught him sit, so we can go straight to that one. That's fine. Hey. One of her main pain points was, I just want him to stop pulling on the leash. Typically, we always start with the walk anyway. And I'm like, all right, well, that's something we can definitely accommodate. See him out in left field? Get him back. Get him back. Good. Good boy. Steady. Keep. Good. You see this engagement that this produces? So glad you guys got to experience this with us this morning. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your subscriptions. I really do appreciate you still being here, even after not posting for pretty much an entire month. I'm going to continue to post updates about this guy. My main point of emphasis on this type of strategy for dogs like this is finding a way to get him to understand that he has a leader, he has somebody there for him to show him what to do, when to do it. And that type of strategy, going back to my post this morning, when you know what to do, okay, when you have somebody there helping you out in reference to like your uncertainty and your fear and this and that, you typically become a little more confident because you're not out in the blue, and this type of thing produces a more confident, more sure dog. And that's exactly why we do the things that we do, because these are the types of dogs that we're trying to produce. I appreciate you guys. Stay tuned for more updates. We're going to continue doing this. We're going to start our obedience stuff. We're going to start asking a little more and a little more and a little more as he starts to understand that he has a leader now. We're going to take him out into public, and we're going to hope to see a dog that doesn't look like they're so uncertain and fearful all the time at the end of the 3 weeks. I love you guys. Stay tuned for more.